Hello and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series, now in its 5th year of tracking fintechs. You can watch all the previous episodes on thebanker.com/techtalks. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor at The Banker, and my guest this week is Victor Trokoudes, co-founder and CEO of Plum, a UK savings and investment chatbot. Victor, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what would you say are the main points for people when they're trying to manage their money?
I think the main point is that en masse, a lot of people, two things. One, people don't have that much money, and two, they live very complicated lives where it's very complex to kind of figure out how you should manage your money while you're like living your life, running around, trying to figure out how to get through your day to day. And I think it's this, people get overwhelmed with everything that's going on, and what happens is they just push it off and don't do anything about it, right? Even though the thought in the background is there that I should manage, I should do something with my money. And that's why I think you need to build something that addresses those issues. And for us, that's like automation, right? So being able to take that underlying will that people have to like save, manage, grow their money, and really make it as easy as possible so that they're like almost saying, okay, this is actually, it is something I want to do. I'm connecting my bank account to you, I'm pressing a button, and now you, Plum, take over and start making sure I'm making the right decisions for my future. And effectively, it's very impactful, I think, for the long term, savings and wealth of an individual, basically.
Okay, so how does Plum use artificial intelligence to help people manage their money?
Yeah, there's two main aspects to what we do. So when you connect your bank account to Plum, we'll look at all of your historic transactions and figure out how much you can save on a monthly basis, right? And then we'll iterate on that every day. So every day we'll recalculate how much you can save at this point in the month. And if we think you can put money aside, we'll move money aside for you and start creating savings for you. The other way we use AI is that we use AI to categorize your various transactions and look at the various bills that we can save money on for you, right? Which we call lost money. And effectively, what we're trying to do is disrupt and reduce the cost of all major expenses that people have, from their utility bill to their credit card, to their loans, to their broadband, to their car insurance. The list goes on, and the savings are significant. It's we estimate around £1,000 a year instantly. Someone can be better off by just saving on these bills.
Okay, and so how does Plum also sort of democratize investments?
Yeah, the problem with investments has been that people think they have to be already like very rich to start investing, and that's also reflected many times by like minimums that you need to have, like £1,000, £10,000 to open an investment account, and the associated cost to having an account, right? So what we've done is that we've made it it's £1 a month to start investing, and you can invest as little as £1 as well, right? Which gives people the ability to not have to commit that much money, and also the cost not being like on an absolute level exorbitant, right, for them to start investing. But the other thing is that we see ourselves as like holistic financial advisor for people and their money, and that's why like our focus in a way is starting to help people save, and then from there allowing them to also experiment with investing while making it very accessible next to the money that they're putting aside, and then they can explore investing and make that part of their ongoing habits.
Okay. So my last question is really around open banking. Obviously in the UK, it's now been in for over 2 years. What do you think it will take to actually make open banking a success?
Look, I think it's a great initiative, right? The ability to access this data existed previously, right? Now, the main thing is to make the fact that we've done this good thing of like opening up banking data, but also make it as usable as possible to kind of allow for different use cases that we couldn't even imagine to be actually implemented, right? And at Plum, I think one of the biggest issues, right, that we have right now, which will stifle innovation, is that every 3 months you need to re-authenticate and say, hey, keep giving my data to this provider, right? I understand there's some logic to it, right? But there is no product in the world, right, where you sign up to something and someone comes to you every 3 months and tells you, do you want to continue using this, right? Plum is a continuous automated savings investing product, right? People sign up to it when they want to stop saving money, they tell us, and they move on, right? But putting this type of friction for certain products is harmful, right? But I also think it will stifle innovation, because you got to put yourself in the shoes of companies that will innovate, right? You need to acquire customers, right? You got to pay for those customers. You got to engage them. It's such a big effort to get them on board. And then if after 3 months you have a barrier, right, it really will make it hard for some companies, earlier ones, to get off the ground. So I think there's a lot of potential. I think we'll solve this problem. And I think it's really going to open up how people manage their money and how much more money people have at the end of the day.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your insights, Victor.
Thank you. Thanks.